Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. In today's lecture, we will start some more practice questions based on definite integrals. In the last session, we had done till question number 12. So in today's class, we will start from question number 13 and we will discuss till question number 18. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images in this deck, and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So let's start with question number 13, which says integration of 0 to 3 pi by 2 sine greatest integer function of 2x by pi dx, where this box denotes the greatest integer function is equal to. So the hint of this question will be C. You have to break this integration into a sequence in which this sine greatest integer function of 2x by pi will give 0, 1, 2, and so on, like that, right? So you have to break in interval. You have to take that interval in which this value of sine 2x by pi, greatest integer function of 2x by pi, will give the value either 0 or 1 or 2, right? Clear? So in this way, you can try to solve this question. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. And after 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. See, as we have discussed, 0 to 3 pi by 2 sine greatest integer function of 2x by pi dx is equal to 0 to pi by 2. See, 0 to, if x is from 0 to pi by 2, then sine 2 pi into pi by 2 will be sine 1. Sine 2 pi into pi by 2 will be sine 1, right? Like that. Clear? So 0 to pi by 2 sine 2x by pi, greatest integer function of 2x by pi. So greatest integer function of 2x by pi will be 1. Clear? So from 0 to pi by 2, greatest integer function of 2x by pi will be 0. From pi by 2 to pi, greatest integer function of sine, greatest integer function of 2x by pi will be 1. And from pi to 3 pi by 2, greatest integer function of 2x by pi will be basically 2. Therefore, we have broken the interval from 0 to pi by 2 sine greatest integer function of 2x by pi dx plus integration of pi by 2 to pi greatest sine of greatest integer function of 2x by pi dx plus integration from pi to 3 pi by 2 sine of greatest integer function of 2x by pi dx, which after solving you will get 0 plus sine 1 integration of pi by 2 to pi dx plus sine 2 integration of pi to 3 pi by 2 dx, which after solving you will get pi by 2 into sine 1 plus sine 2. Clear? So I think option D, pi by 2 into sine 1 plus sine 2 will be the right choice. Got it? Option D is the right choice. Fine. Now let's move to the next question. Question number 14, which says that if this box denotes the greatest integer function, then the value of 0 to 1.5 x greatest integer function of x squared dx is. Again, see, again you have to apply the same method. Again, you have to apply the same method. That is, you have to take the values of greatest integer function of x square. You have to see that x square is varying from 0 to pi by 2, 0 to 1.5, how x square is varying. Clear? Like from 0 to 1, the value of x square will be, the value of greatest function of x square will be 0, right? And from 1 to 1.5, we will see that from this, which in this interval, which value greatest function of x square is taking which value, right? So in this way, you try to attempt this question. We have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. As we have to find greatest integer function of 0 to 1.5 x of x, as we have to find integration of 0 to 1.5 x into greatest integer function of x squared dx. Therefore, I is equal to 0 to 1 x into 0 dx plus 1 to root 2x into 1 dx plus root 2 to 1.5x into 2 dx. Therefore, I is basically, see, 0 plus x into 1 dx is x square by 2. Therefore, it is 1 to root 2. X into 2 dx will be, see, x dx will be x squared by 2, and 2 is multiplication. So 2 and upon 2 will be cancelled out. So this will be x square root 2 to 1.5, right? So answer will be 1 by 2. 2 minus 1 plus 1.5 square minus 2. Right. So after solving, you will get answer as 1 by 2 plus 2.25 minus 2. Therefore, you will get 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 5, 4, which is equal to 3 by 4. So I think option D will be the right choice. 3 by 4 is right answer. Got it? So the question in which you are getting, in the definite integral question in which you are getting question in greatest integer function of something, then you have to break the interval in which the greatest integer function is varying from 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Clear? So in this way, you will always try to approach the question of greatest integer function. Now see, let's move to the next question, question number 15, which says the value of integration from 0 to 1, 8 log 1 plus x upon 1 plus x squared dx is. Okay, so see, by observing the question, what can you see? So the hint of this question is you can do uh, some, you can do some simplification. That is, we know that f of x integration of 0 to integration of 0 to 1, this fx will be equal to integration of 0 to 1 f of 1 minus x, that is 1 plus 0 minus x, right? So you can try this. Clear? Or you can further try some simplification to approach these questions. Okay, so you try to think the questions like that. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. See, as I is equal to integration of 1 to integration of 0 to 1, 8 log 1 plus x upon 1 plus x square dx. Put, you can put x square, x as tan theta, right? You can put x as tan theta. See, you can apply that f of 1 minus x also. But if when you put x equal to tan theta, then this equation further simplifies and you can easily apply the same equation, right? So let's put x equal to tan theta. Therefore, dx is equal to sec squared theta d theta, right? So when x equal to 0, tan theta is 0. Therefore, theta is equal to 0, right? So, and when x equal to 1, tan theta is equal to theta is equal to pi by 4, right? Therefore, I is basically 0 to pi by 4, 8 log 1 plus tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta into sec square theta d theta. Now, 1 plus tan square theta is basically sec square theta. We all know this, right? Therefore, this term and this term will cancel out, right? 1 plus tan square theta and sec square theta will cancel out. Clear? So therefore, we are left with 8 will come out as it is constant. Therefore, we are left with 8 into integration from 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus tan theta d theta, right? Therefore, I is equal to 8, 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus tan theta d theta, equation 1. So, see, as we know that 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus tan theta, right? 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus tan theta d theta is basically pi by 8 log 2. Is pi by 8 log 2, as we know this. We know this. We have discussed this in theoretical section, right? Therefore, final answer will be 8 into pi by 8 log 2, right? So now 8 and 8 will cancel out. So final answer will be pi log 2, right? So I will be pi log 2. Pi log 2 will be the right choice. Okay. So in this way, you try to do some substitution. Clear? Clear? Try to do some substitution. Try to do some shortcut methods, right, to approach this question. Okay. So I think option D is the right choice. Option D is the right choice. Got it? Let's move to the next question. Question number 16. Which says we have to find 0 to pi by 2 integration of 1 minus root over 1 minus sine 2x is equal to c. Again, the hint of this question is by observing this. See, the hint of this hint of every question is based on the first observation. The first observation you can apply by seeing the questions, right? Okay, so by observing this question, you can see that you can write 1 as sine square x plus cos square x minus sine 2x as 2 sine x cos x, right? And this can be further written as mod of root over sine x minus cos x whole square. So it can be written as mod of sine x minus cos x, right? So integration of 0 to pi by 2 mod of sine x minus cos x. Now, from the graph of sine x and cos x, or by analytical observation, you can easily see that from 0 to pi by 4, 0 to pi by 4 cos x is greater, 0 to pi by 4 cos x is greater than sin x, and from pi by 2 to pi by 4 to pi by 2 sin x is greater than cos x, right? So therefore from 0 to pi by 4 you can write cos x minus sin x. As you can see from the graph, see, this is a graph of sin x and this is a graph of cos x, right? And this portion is pi by 4. So from 0 to pi by 4 cos x is greater, and from pi by 4 to from pi by 4 to pi by 2 sin x is greater, right? So from 0 to pi by 4 you can write cos x minus sin x dx, and from pi by 4 to pi you can write sin x minus cos x, right? So in this way you can try to approach this question. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. C, as I is basically 0 to pi by 2 root over 1 minus sine 2x dx, right? So it can be written as 0 to pi by 4 root over 0 to pi by 4 root over cos x minus sin x square dx plus pi by 4 to pi by 2 sin x minus cos x square dx, right? But why we have done this? Because when x is between 0 to pi by 4, cos x minus sin x is greater than 0. And when x is between pi by 4 to pi by 2, cos x minus sin x is less than 0, right? So finally, we can write from 0 to pi by 4 cos x minus sin x dx plus pi by 4 to pi by 2 sin x minus cos x dx, right? Therefore, finally, sin x plus cos x. After integration, you will get sin x plus cos x, because integration of cos x dx is basically sin x, and integration of sin x dx is basically minus cos x. Therefore, finally, sin x plus cos x 0 to pi by 4 plus minus cos x minus sin x pi by 4 to pi by 2. After putting the values of upper limit and lower limit, you will get sin pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4 minus sin 0 plus cos 0 plus minus of cos pi by 2 minus sin pi by 2 minus of minus cos pi by 4 minus sin pi by 4. Therefore, you can write 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 minus 1 plus minus 1 minus 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2, right? So 2 by root 2 minus 1 plus root 2. Therefore, root 2 minus 1 plus root 2. So answer. So I think after simplification, you will get 2 times 2 root 2 minus 1 is the right answer, right? So I think option D is matching with the answer we are getting. Okay, option D is the right choice. 2 times root 2 minus 1 is the right answer. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Question number 17, which says the value of integration of e to the power minus 1, integration from e to the power minus 1 till e square mod log ex upon x dx. Now, you can see that log e is 0, right? So from minus infinity to e, log ex upon x will be negative, right? And after e, this will be positive. So according to that, you can break in the interval, that is from 1 by 2 to e, 1 by e to e, this log ex upon x will be negative, and from e to e square, this log ex upon x will be positive, right? In this way you can break the modulus function, right? So you have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. C, as we have discussed, we can write it as minus, not log e, log 1, log 1 is 0, log 1 0. In the explanation part, I have explained, I had said that it should be log e. That is from 1 by e to e and e to e square. Not like that 1 by e to 1, because log 1 is 0, not log e. Right. So we integration of e to the power minus 1 to e square mod of log ex upon x dx is equal to integration from e to the power minus 1 to 1 log ex upon x dx plus integration of 1 to e square mod log ex upon x dx. So finally, e to the power minus 1 to 1 can be written as minus log ex upon x dx plus 1 to e square log ex upon x dx, which is equal to minus 1 to 0. See, we have put log ex as z, log ex as z. Clear? So when x is e to the power minus 1, z is minus 1. And when x is 1, z is 0, right? So integration from minus 1 to 0 minus z dz plus, again when x is 1, then z is 0, and when x is e squared, then z is 2, right? So 0 to 2 z dz, right? Clear? Therefore, integration of minus z dz will be minus z square by 2, and limit is from minus 1 to 0. And integration from z square, integration of z dz is basically z square by 2, and limit is from 0 to 2. After putting the value of limit, you will get answer as 1 by 2 plus 2, which is basically 5 by 2. So I think 5 by 2 is the right answer. Clear? So option B is matching 5 by 2. Option B is matching the answer we got. Okay, let's move to the next question, question number 18, which says that the value of summation of k to n 0 to 1 f of k minus 1 plus x dx is equal to, see, again, see, the question is based on the series, right? So in the theory portion we had discussed that how we approach the series question with respect to limit, right? Clear? So we try to maximize the series by putting the value of k as 1 2 3 and see whether we are seeing any pattern or not, right? Or how we try to convert this series into an integrable form, and that integration will be of the form of this, right? So you have to find the option in the form of integration of limit, some limit and fx dx, right? So in this way you try to approach this question. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. C. As we have discussed, I is basically 0 to 1 f of k minus 1 plus x dx. Therefore I is equal to integration of k minus 1 to k ft uh, ft dt, where we have put t is equal to k minus 1 plus x. We have put t is equal to k minus 1 plus x, right? So if x is 0, if x is 0, then t will be k minus 1, and if x is 1, then 1 minus 1, then t will be k, right? So I will be integration of k minus 1 to k ft dt, where t is basically k minus 1 plus x. Therefore dt will be equal to dx, right? Therefore I will be integration of k minus 1 to k fx dx, which is equal to summation of k is equal to 1 to n, summation of k equal to 1 to n, integration of k minus 1 to k fx dx. So after simplifying this, you will get from k equal to 1 to n, you will get 0 to 1 fx dx plus 1 to 2 fx dx till n minus 1 to n fx dx. Clear? N minus 1 fx dx. Finally, after solving this, you will get, see, 0 to n, 0 to 1, because this is basically making a sequence 0 to 1, then 1 to 2, then 2 to 3. Similarly, n minus 1 to n. So finally, you can write integration from 0 to n fx dx. Clear? Integration of 0 to n fx dx, right? So option C is looking right and looking mm, good as an option, right? So I think option C is the right choice. The summation of this value will be integration from 0 to n fx dx. Clear? Option C is the right. So in this way, we have discussed the different types of questions based on definite integration. Clear? Hope you understood how to apply the concepts in the questions, right? And hope you liked the lecture. Okay. Thank you so much.